All right, we're going live. Hey, I'm so excited that my software actually behaved for me. It was looking like it was going to be a no-go, but it's a go. Exciting, isn't it? And, speaking of software, we're going to get into the topic of, pardon me, I just want to get to the page so I can track with you guys. All right. So good afternoon, everybody. This is Nancy coming at you from the E-commerce Business School. Make sure you write in the comments section that you are here and that you can hear me. Really, really important, okay? Hey, and you know what? They've got this really cool feature that as you come into the Facebook Live, you actually have the opportunity to start a watch party. So go ahead and do that. Start watch party. Maybe I'm the one who does it. Start watch, you know what? I'm just gonna, do I dare do that? Start watch party. I'm gonna ask Lisa Brain. Hang with me, folks. We got a little bit of time here. We do. Oh, it's 12 o'clock and I'm Mrs. Promptness, so we're gonna get going here, but I just wanna check with Lisa on this. Lisa is our operations officer here at the E-commerce Business School. And she really helps with the electrons flowing. So I'm going to ask her about the watch party. Should I click the watch party button? And you know what, guys, by me doing this, then you're going to learn for yourself with any of you who are doing Facebook Lives, right? I think that's important for you to know. I mean, technology, it just zooms so fast, doesn't it? So has she responded to me? Should I do that? Okay. Well, hey there. Greetings, everybody. This is Ann Sieg. Welcome to the Voice of E-commerce, which is the broadcasting arm of the E-commerce Business School. And our goal is to display to the public that we're real people with a go-giving community. And we're thrilled to have you here. And we're going to help take your business to the next level with this edition of the E-commerce of Voice of E-commerce. Okay. So let's get moving ahead. I want to get into an important topic. So want to let you know that 80%, a shocking 80% of your business comes from one main factor, your mindset. Yeah. And 20% is technology, the mechanics, and all that stuff of learning how to have a successful business. So a takeaway for you is when you see someone that is successful, probably, albeit it's a multivariate situation, but more than likely it's because of their mindset. Now, we know not all variables are the same. Some people are able to do this full-time and some are able to do it part-time. But I've seen people who are doing this part-time. One that comes to mind is a CPA who did our Shop Your Way to Wealth program and the book Flipping Profit System. And he did that part-time on the side as a CPA, and he generated $39,000 in sales in 5 months, doing it part-time. I credit it to his mindset. So with that being said, we're going to dive into my book club that I recently launched. When was it? Something like this 3rd week of January. And if you're like, I don't know anything about that, Ann, well, I'm letting you know. And the recording of that is on this page. If you scroll down, you'll find that. If you go to the left and you click on videos, you're going to see that. Anyways, so anybody here right in the panel? Can you hear me? Right in the comment section? Okay, so what we're going to do is when I launched my book club, I went through 5 books that served as my foundation prior to me coming online in 2004. So that is, do the math, that's 15 years ago when I started building a business online. So these are the 5 books. And today we're going to touch on this one, which is definitely high level philosophy and worldview. And we're going to get into the topics of economics, which is one of my favorite topics. And you as a business owner, I'm going to make the case that it ought to be one of your favorite topics as too. So I'm going to dive into that by actually sharing my screen. Hopefully I can do that successfully. Hang on with me, folks. Yep, that should do it from current. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is share my screen and we're going to go through some fun material together. All right, gotta bring that up and I'm going to share my screen. Right there. And then over on my left, I want to watch for you guys making comments while we're talking. Okay, well, we're going through this. So right in, hey, Kathleen, good. Okay, so Paul Zink-Pilzer, he is an economist and he served on at least 2 presidential cabinets. So he's got the credibility. So we're going to talk about the economics of abundance. As you can see here, the little child playing and, you know, the abundance of clean, fresh water. So let's dive in. Okay, now I know this is some of you going, economics was that one class that I really avoided in high school, and certainly I didn't take it in college, but it really is the driver behind business, is understanding the economy of people, the economy of leadership, the economy of trust. It's not just this, you know, everyone thinks of economy as dollars being transacted. No, it's way more than that. So this is from Paul Zink-Pilzer, and he talks about economic alchemy. So we'll go through these 6 laws kind of quickly, and then we're going to dive into that really meaty stuff. All right, so I got Kathleen here. Anyone else who's joining us, make sure you write in the comment section. Okay, the first law is that resources are unlimited because our minds are unlimited. And we've seen that in the last century and definitely in this century as well, where people thought a physical resource was limited. For example, I just heard this the other day. There are actually more trees on the planet now than there were from 120 years ago at the start of the 20th century. A lot of people don't know that. They think, oh, the world's coming to an end and all the trees are dying. And no, see, that's just not a fact. I just heard this recently. But it's through technology that they're able to plant the trees and grow them more quickly. So there are so many natural resources of that nature where we have been able to overcome those limitations. So that's the first law. And that really changes your mindset, your view towards business and competition. Second law, technology determines the supply of any given resource. Technology is the amplifier. It's the amplifier, right? And it can exponentially expand a resource that was once thought very limited, because the concept of limited resources is what causes war. All right, the third law, the advance of technology is determined by the exchange of information. So you got the technology, but it's expedited when it's shared and goes back and forth, and things go to a whole other level for humanity. Okay. The fourth law, technology determines need. So out of new technologies, well, let's take a look at this one. There's all sorts of new needs because of our smartphones. I mean, it's opened up an entire new industry. It's opened up how many layers of opportunities within that. Here, I'm broadcasting this call because I could be doing it on my smartphone, but it's these advancements that then create all sorts of new needs. The fifth law, there is no limit to our economy because there is no limit to demand. And it's because things keep advancing. Things that 20, 50 years ago, we never saw what was going to come. And now there's all these new unlimited potential that's available to us. And the sixth law, your immediate economic potential is defined by your technology gap. Okay, I know this is heady stuff for some folks who have never studied economics, but the sixth law here is the one that is most relevant and pertinent to you right now. Hey there, Judy, welcome. Great to have you here. So we're going to get into that because noting the word there, your immediate economic potential is defined by your technology gap or lack thereof. Kathleen is here in this call. She submitted her accountability report. I read those yesterday. She's taking really good advantage of technology. I saw it. She's using Tailwind, and I don't remember all the software pieces, but that's Kathleen a leg up to boost her brand in the marketplace. So she's squishing in that economic gap that someone else is trying to do everything manually. No, you want to close in on the technology gap with all the software that's available to you, which helps to create scale. Okay, we're going to get into this aspect of it. And I am going to tell you, I'm a big fan of Paul Zane Pilsen. I read this book probably, 17 years ago, as I recall. And it was really pretty life-changing for me. It affected me. My dad taught me all these principles when I was growing up. And he was a very ardent student of economics, particularly the Chicago School of Economics and Ludwig van Mises, et cetera, which is the abundance economy. That is the culture and the mindset that I grew up with. I know that's not what's commonly taught, but I'm telling you what, it needs to be taught, because instead of seeing limitation and scarcity, we as business owners need to have a different view. And I believe this is the right view, the abundance economy, rather than the scarcity economy, which is out on very, very commonplace in our culture. And it's just not true. It's just not true. So I like to counter that, and I'm doing it for your benefit as a business owner. So the new leadership model, and this is where, for me personally, where wealth building really grows, and it's my passion. So I'm going to go into it. Oh, what I meant to say was that I have created a fair amount of training off this book, and I dug one up last night, and I'm like, man, I'm going to use some of that for today. So I've done a lot of training around this stuff in the past. So leadership becomes meaningful in the context of understanding human behavior and the human economy. So I know that's a mouthful, but it's just understanding how people are wired. And as you follow me in my book club, the link is ansigbookclub.com, by the way, to take part in a community that's really diving into it deep. Plus, at the highest level here in the e-commerce business school is at the mastermind level. And you just write TLC in the comments section below if you want to know about that. But anyways, I like to study human behavior. For example, there's a book called Influence by Robert Cialdini. The whole book is devoted to understanding what motivates people. Wouldn't you want to know that? If you were a leader, you would want to know such things, right? What motivates people? And I realize some of you are a solopreneur right now. I get that, but you may branch out and start building your own team. And that's where this is really important, is to understand human behavior. So either you see supplies as limited, like, there's only so many ideas left in the world, and they're going so fast, and pretty soon there will be no more ideas, right? Or you see them as virtually limitless. Do you see the difference there? Like, a lot of people will feel, man, I got chipped out. Look at, she came up with that idea. Oh man, I'm out of luck. Kind of acting as though ideas are at a capped supply. Now think about this for a minute. So I have a team where my whole focus is I'm developing this brain trust. And let me just tell you, the ideas are so abundant. Sometimes we have to get the stamper out. We put a moratorium on the ideas only for the fact that we can't implement them all. We have to go down with what we feel is the best idea. But this is the beauty of when you work with people in a collaborative way, there's an exponential amount of potential that happens when you're working in a collaborative fashion with other people. So let me bring it down to home here at the E-commerce Business School. You want to know what it looks like? At the E-commerce Master's Program level, that's our high-level mentorship program, they get to self-organize and put themselves into mastermind groups. Actually, we help facilitate it because people send in a survey with the day and time, etc. And so we kind of match people up to that. But we allow them to self-organize to the extent of forming their group and how the details will work out. We give them a general framework. But what comes out of those mastermind sessions is It's a hotbed of help and ideas and collaboration, and people form JVs and partnerships. And now 1+1 = 3. Okay. I don't think I will ever be in business where it's just me alone. It would just be too boring. It's just, sorry, but it would just be too boring. And I love working with people, and I love sharing ideas. All right, so we're going to continue. Economic Alchemy by Paul St. Pilzer. Thoughts are things. Napoleon Hill. They are. Thoughts become things. All right, just a thought. So you want to have this cultivation system inside your mind and your mindset that is amenable for these things to happen. And I got to tell you, for a lot of people on the planet, these things don't happen because they have been inculcated with bad teachings and bad thinking. And now they have to develop new neural pathways, which is definitely possible, but they have to be open to changing past thought patterns that are limited in, they put a cap on them. You guys tracking with me? False teachings that they see things in a limited way. So our economy has gone global, and the world has been brought to our doorsteps, literally. We can now trade and barter ideas with anyone on the planet. I'm going to give you an example. So I've done 2 sourcing trips to China. My son lives in China, and he has a buddy that he knows from their first workplace together. And I've come over, and well, Kevin's on, his name is Kevin. He's on Skype with me. And, you know, I'm totally open to exchanging ideas with Kevin, who's a Chinese citizen, and where that might evolve. Because my son told me, Mom, Kevin is very interested in doing business with you. Okay, we'll see what we can work out. And then I met with the trade commissioner of the entire city of Ningbo. Sat down with him. He can fill an entire room for me. How's that? This is what we're talking about. I just explained to him what I do, what we can help with, and boom, you know, there was this JV partnership. We didn't actually move forward with it, just logistics and whatnot and priorities, but that's expansion. I've got a lot of business opportunity waiting for me in China. So be open, be open. Lots can happen here. Okay, now we're going to go into you, the team building. And I hope that what I'm going to teach here is helpful for you. I mean this really sincerely. And again, like I say, the 80-20 rule is 80% of the success of your business is really more about your mindset than the mechanical and the technical execution. Even if you feel like that's the tough part, it's really more up here. So where it all begins, the real team building begins with team you. You look in the mirror, and that's the new boss in town. And I hope that boss is showing up bright and shiny every morning for you, right? That's what you want to have happen. So as an entrepreneur, you are your own boss to make things happen. Let me give you a mindset thing on this. So we have a group, I'm not going to give a lot of details, but we have a group that is masterminding together, and I get reports back about it. And no, I take that back. This was in EMP Check and Adjust this very week on Monday. And it was about the challenge of juggling so many things when you're an entrepreneur. And the gal who is speaking up, super high value member, she's doing arbitrage through books, but she's also building her private label business and has a whole sales team devoted to that. And she sourced from China, etc. She's juggling 2 businesses. And what we were talking about is, how do you parse that all out and put together a really effective schedule? And she said, I tried this for a while, and then I modify it, I change it to this for a while, and kind of like some might interpret and read in, yeah, it's frustrating. Man, you tried this and then that doesn't work. And you try, and she said, you know, and her name is Christina. It's Christina Leo. And she smiled and she said, you know, but that's really the beauty of being an entrepreneur, isn't it? And it was like this lens of looking at something that most people would see as a big snarly marley problem. She just totally flipped it around and she said, you know, that's the beauty of being an entrepreneur. I'm like, you got it, girl. No wonder you're so successful. All right, so it's all about your orientation. Let me just, who else do we have here? Make sure you write in the panel that you're here. Okay. And any questions you may have. This is my last slide, other than just to give you some information. So this one's kind of a heady one, but bear with me. And this is recorded and you can take a screenshot too. I had to restudy this. I dredged it up out of my computer last night and I did an expansion of what he teaches. Okay. So I'm taking some liberty. And that's what you do. When you learn from someone else, it melds into your current knowledge base. And what comes out of that is a new understanding and perspective on the world that you previously had. And it's not going to be exactly like the person who just imparted that new knowledge and experience to you, because that's their worldview that's been morphed together through a whole bunch of experiences and inputting. I hope that makes sense. So when I absorb someone's new information, it melds into my current worldview. Okay. And then I have a different understanding of the world as a result. Okay. So who else do we have here? Hey there, Bam. Priscilla. Hi there. Welcome. I'm coming to the tail end here. And this is going over a book that I highly, highly recommend. On the premise that 80% of your business success is due to your mindset. And this book preaches and teaches about wealth abundance, the wealth economy, etc. So we're going to talk about personal wealth. Now, do you think there's such a thing as group wealth or team wealth? Yeah, there is. Okay, that's on the right there. So this is my extrapolation. So let's talk about you, personal wealth. So you have, that looks like an algebraic equation over there, right? P times T. So what is P? It's your personal resources. So every single one of us come to the table as entrepreneurs with vastly, vastly different personal resources, right? One of them is available hours, knowledge, experience, all sorts of things formulate into that, true? Right? And we all own that. Like mine is built up from years of working hard to learn what I did. Just put in the hard work, right? So that's you, that's your entity. The multiplier is technology. Those are your basic skills. Number one, communication, specialized skills. This is from an older training, copywriting as an example, the ability to adapt, a whole number. You can write under there what you think it is. And obviously like using Zoom today, I'm using this software to talk to you today. And I can guarantee you it took quite a chunk of time to learn how to master Zoom to interface with Facebook, right? Anyways, technology, if you feel like I just really hate technology, really rethink your attitude on that because it is a wealth multiplier. With me on that? So you're going to have to change your mindset on it and go, I better embrace technology because it is a wealth multiplier. Make sense? Okay. Now you're going to multiply that by relationships. Now that R ought to be a really big R and in bold, because you know what I tell everyone when they're starting business? Your top priority is to build your network. Now, I learned that from my rich dad right here before I came online. Okay, I learned that early. And I will always teach that first because you have no idea how relationships can save your hiney. When you're up a crick on something and you've got a Rolodex of connections and you go, I ran into a problem. And that person who's got whatever XYZ knowledge base and their own network can be worth untold millions. And it literally can be worth that. So your relationships, if you do not like building relationships, I'm going to be really candid. You shouldn't bother being in business. Just cross out, go back to just doing your thing. And then times vision. That's personal, isn't it? Maybe you say, I have no vision, Ann. I would say that's a problem. You better have a vision. And the clearer that vision is, and the more you can hold it up in your mind's eye and focus on that, that's an amplifier. People they'll feel it. this person's going somewhere. They have clarity. You can feel the energy. And someone with no vision, there's a Proverbs, without a vision, people perish. It's true. It's really, really, really true. Without a vision, people perish. There's nothing to live for. Nihilism, right? We don't want that. So P times T is your personal resources. Always be shoring it up. You're here at the e-commerce business school. You multiply it by technology, those two. Then you multiply that by relationships and then vision. That equals your personal wealth. All right. You're going to have to print that out and go over that a few times to let that really sink in. Now, me, where did I go with this right away? I extrapolated and I go, well, I love teams. I don't want to work by myself. I don't want a lone ranger. I want to share the wealth and grow this together. So you take your vision for your business and your relationships, and you see that the Venn, it crosses over, doesn't it? And the hottest part of that is right here. That's where the real heat of it is. And that maybe should have been a bigger bubble. So this same formula applies to building out your team. Invest and make decisions based on the same formula to build out your team wealth. Is this all making sense, guys? I know it's kind of a little bit heavy duty for some folks maybe here, but and as you can see, I'm kind of passionate about it. All right, we went a little past, and I kind of figured it would go that way. So for more business leadership and training, join through the link. I didn't put it in, but I will. AndSeedBookClub.com. This is the next book we're going through. Your business will live or die on your ability to first and foremost lead yourself. And secondly, if you want to scale and grow, to lead others. It's inescapable. It's inescapable. All righty. And then for those who are interested in our TLC leadership development platform, just write in TLC in the comments section below. Okay. Any questions, ladies and gentlemen? Any kind of questions that people have? Did this make sense? Do you get kind of the concept of the economics of abundance versus, we know it's taught out there in the culture, the economics of scarcity. The pie is only so big. And if I don't have a big enough piece of the pie, the solution is simple. I go and I take it from someone else. In fact, I have it become mandated that what he owns, that's going to be mine now. That's just flat out wrong. Okay. Wrong. Do not, I really implore you folks, it is not a limited pie. It is an ever expanding pie. China pumps out 1 millionaire every single week. I don't know what the US stats are for US. It's way up there. We're the leader in the world. There's never been a better time to be an entrepreneur. There's no limit to ideas. And because of technology as the multiplier, there's no limit to opportunity. And so I went through the 6 big wealth building strategies, those 6 laws as well. Any comments? Oh, thank you, Kathleen. I appreciate that. Okay. I hope it's a game changer for people because this message needs to be out there more about the abundance economy instead of the scarcity economy. And in fact, this gentleman, Paul St. Pilzer, he has dedicated his entire life to that purpose. And he cites, you guys got to read it. He talks about the economics of scarcity in there. Then he talks about the globalization of free enterprise. It should be a business primer for everybody. Okay. Alrighty, I'm going to give it a wrap. Thanks everyone for being here and have a great rest of the week and map out your own personal wealth formula for yourself. Get it dialed in, work on the mindset and go out and do great things for you and your family. All right. God bless everybody. Bye-bye.